Well, that one Grazer will handle one missile. Check. Confirmed. Hello, and welcome to Yukon. We're on the public testing branch. We're testing, I can never remember. It was too brain rot to stick in my memory, but the BGR patch, Team 1 ANS, Team 2 OSP, Internet Explorer, Nico, Quinobean, Polymorph, Steroid on ANS, Crow, Quiz, Subtle Hubris, and Kalmia on OSP. Those of you who have not been paying attention to anything going on at all, anywhere, rails are the subject of the day. Nothing but negative opinions on them. Honestly, more than anything, so something I learned with the Halo mod is that even if you make rails, like super long range aesthetic railguns, kind of overpowered, the number one request you're going to get is make them stronger. Like, the Halo railguns are super strong, and they only really work because the rails plus beam versus beam faction dynamic kind of worked in its own weird way. But, like, versus vanilla stuff, they're overwhelmingly powerful. But people are like, buff them! Make them better! Dude, what are you talking about? Alright, let's start going through these fleets. Subtle Hubris. Obelisk Plasma T-30, Obelisk Plasma T-30. Jam Shuttle, Gun Shuttle, Gun Shuttle, Gun Shuttle. Half cap, half murder in a can. Quiz. All shuttles. This is what I think it is. Oh, yeah. It's the Writhing Horde. This is not going to be a slow game. This is not going to be a steady game. This might not even be a dynamic game. This is just going to be bananas from the first second. Alright, please tell me... Okay, ANS has at least 2 rail cannons. What is this build? John Henry. Okay, I'm going to have to take a look at that later. Okay. Very light railguns at ANS, but at least something. Crow round 450s on the Cellos. Oh yeah, Quiz. Full rocket shuttle squadron with jamming support. Very lethal. That's just a I kill one guy button, and it's pretty good, especially considering Quinto has a 3,000 point Solomon. That might just explode later on. Kalmia has an anchor monitor. MLS2s and C90s. AMM's out already. Missiles being fired out from the Overlord. S2H is being yubbed onto the Delta Point. I don't see that much anymore. No, especially not from the battleship. Kalmia taking a couple, but she's gonna get the cap.
The enemy is securing zone Comet.
Where were we? MMT.
I'm talking to the cat.
Whole bunch of gun shuttles as well. Yeah, 5 of them. In supports, that's full. OSP Team Internet Explorers rocking double Voxels, gun Voxels, supported by Jam Sprinter and a pair of capping sprinters, all of which are going for the Echo Point right now. Going for that edge of the map control immediately. Going to execute the one shuttle that's down here. There are 2 obelisks pointing at the E point, although they really need to get their keel or their mast pointed at that point, not their nose. They want to levy their full firepower. Nico beam ship anchoring, covering the alpha point. 1, 2, 3. Missile and gunships. 2 Pinard spy frigs. Actually, no, I don't think those have Pinards on. Yeah, they did. And then 2 near leading sprinters headed for that alpha point. Shuttle's also headed for the alpha point, one of the gun shuttles. And it might get it? Is the beam not facing the right direction? What's going on here? Why are you not firing? Okay, it's just getting oriented. It's just getting oriented.
The enemy is securing zone Eclipse.
Yeah, it's gonna die immediately. Okay, back less incredulity, back to the fight. We've got Polymorphous Neuroid in a very interesting vessel here. 2 railguns, one underslung 450 cannon and 4 Mark 62s. With 2 defenders, 1 bullseye, and 1 chaff box. OSP has multi-mission tug missiles. And oh right, and the anchor monitor. Aerodact. Yeah, but all those missiles can be handled by the ADs. We'll see. How that matters. This is also supported by a jam Rains and one railgun destroyer. Okay. What a odd build. Very strange. I really like it. One of these S2s flying in here in the Warrens, possibly trying to do some scouting, possibly trying to snipe something. Hubris didn't pay the PD tags. Did he not? Uh-oh. The real problem is the guns. It's really hard to get good PD on the obelisks. It doesn't surprise me at all. Mostly just because of angling, not because of mounts or anything. S2's going to the alpha point. OSP does manage to capture the alpha point. They can control this. Yukon and Shaft gonna be able to handle all these missiles. So if they can deny the sprinters from actually capping this point, it will be incredibly powerful. And that's not gonna happen though. ANS has a 4 cap lead. Uh-oh. That never ends well on Yukon. It's not gonna last for a super long time. I think OSP is gonna be able to get down onto the echo point and capture that, or maybe not. These Voxels able to zone out pretty effectively. The broadsiding a Cello currently. What are you doing with that? And the Hidden God is also taking quite a bit of damage. Lost its basic, lost one of its guns, had to spend a couple restores. Okay, the rocket shuttles are onto the map. They're headed towards the alpha point. I think that's actually one of the worst places they can hit because they will get devoured by the beam ship. They are, I think they're off radar too. Oh yeah, they're completely off radar. ANS has no idea. Okay, they're on burn ping. One of them is. And rockets are out. They know what it is now. Bonk. That is a still sprinter getting immediately murdered by rockets. Oh man. You know, every time someone says rocket shuttles are bad, they've gone through these cycles, right? Of like groups of rocket shuttles being bad because they just get devoured by voxels. So single rocket shuttles are good and they can like be complicated mines. But now we've gone the other direction where with the massive amount of battleships and Axfords that are around and the very low number of voxels, you could just do this stupid nonsense and be pretty effective. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to jump onto the alpha point. I think the battleship's orbital too, so he's not going to be able to catch that out. Yeah, not really. This is so silly. I love this. The writhing horde of rockets. They only launched like 5 rockets too. They just blink. That sprinter didn't really engage. Oh, the other group of rocket shuttles is on top of the map, and he is getting shape on the battleship. Looks like they're still about 10 kilometer. No, about. How can I read this? There we go. 7.5 kilometers out from the battleship. Which is quite a ways, especially now that they're on radar. Where's going? After that sprinter. They might be angled down a little too aggressively. Or missiles going after the rocket shuttles, and rocket shuttles going after the sprinter. Series eating nothing, actually. Okay, the S2s do lock the sprinter, and they get shift. Oh, a couple lands anyways. Nice, nice, nice. Internetio. Taking some damage. Not dead, but taking some damage. Something with nuclear. I have no idea what. I'm gonna follow these. Oh, it was on the alpha point too. Follow these in. One of the middle ships getting down by the Axers. The support Mark 62 is very dangerous. Of course, if the rocket shuttles get close to the Axford, it's just gonna die. It doesn't have any point defense. Unfortunately, it looks like this group of 5 rocket shuttles is only going to be taking out the Sprinter, which is a massive, massive points loss there. Unless these can all get down to cover real fast, they are kind of forcing the battleship and the support Axford and Reigns into the map more than they are already, but not really enough. OSP down 2-3 at this point, and they were down 4-1 at one point. Ooh, some missiles that might be catching this. Reigns, no, fired way too low. Definitely gonna miss the basket. Womp womp. I think these are gonna get Charlie, actually. Because they can just go in here and grab this. The only thing guarding it is the series. Just need to be moving kind of slow, though. Yeah, 30. Which, yeah, bro, you gotta dump these things if they have defenders. You can't just do that. That's not gonna be enough either. Yeah, 2 lands, you really need like another 4 or 5.
The enemy is securing Zone Comet.
Quizquiz trying way too hard to save his rockets.
We are contesting
And
Zone
that's
Comet.
resulting in a
The
ton of
enemy
them being
securing
wasted.
Zone Boxer. The enemy is
There we
securing Zone
go.
Comet.
Now he's going to be able to take the Charlie points. There's nothing out there that can prevent that. Although the Voxels are up here, and they can tear those ships to shreds in no time. Definitely got enough time to take the cap. They do get the Bravo cap as well. Looks like the Internetio finally got missiled. Yeah. Need some T-20 fire too. Presumably from this guy. Let that RBF go. Very explosive, very dangerous. Now OSP's on the front foot. They've got Bravo, Charlie, Delta, and Echo caps. They've got good control on the right side of the map. And they've killed off most of ANS's front line. Which, to be fair, was just the Sprinters. They don't really have... Okay, alright, let's go through this. We've got the Overlord, which is a backline gun battleship. We've got a Rail Axford, which is a backline, obviously. Got support for that. We've got more support for that. Rail Destroyer, backline. Beam Destroyer, which is an anti-cap asset. Bunch of Sprinters. I guess we do have the 2 Voxels. Yeah, this is their front line right here. Is they're not explored, but they're frontline skirmishers rather than meat. Gonna have some trouble over the long term because on the flip side, OSP has. Oh my goodness, 2 obelisks front line. The armada of rocket shuttles, which to be fair is dying violently. And then the like capping assets, which they currently have more of than ANS. It's another problem. ANS is losing their capping assets quite quickly. Gonna take back Bravo. OSP's not gonna be able to make up their deficit though, because I think these Voxels are gonna take Charlie. Yeah, I think these Voxels are going to take Charlie. They're going to easily deflect all these shuttles away. I'm going to be able to zone out any other shuttles that come up here, and they're going to outlast a railgun in a direct duel if the rail pushes. And I think these rocket shuttles are just going to die horribly if they try to jump up onto that C point. Doesn't look like they are, though. Yeah, they seem to be going for this Axford.
The enemy is securing
Which is
zone
currently
common.
suffering from Obelisk and Railfire, which is, as we've seen, is a very powerful combination. Plasma 100 deals pretty good damage, but before you get to that point, the rails soften the ship up with fires and make the return fire lower. So this ship has like very low capacity to actually fight back against the Obelisk. Normally the Obelisk takes a lot of return fire, but with all the debuffs that get spread around, he takes significantly less. Yeah, this thing is in way better health than it would be without the rail support. Once the plasma really starts to add up, and the 100 mil will tear the ship to shreds. And looks like we're hitting that point now. Goodbye, John Henry. Oh, and the rocket shuttles are here.
Secured zone common.
And they dumped the frigate instead of the Axford. Womp womp. That's pretty good though. But the rocket shuttles are now going to die to the Voxels. Quite quickly. One shuttle going after Charlie. I don't know about that one, Chief. And the Internet Explorer too busy dealing with the stuff down there. Okay, he sees it. He's turning. You gotta fire. Don't throw on the brakes. You gotta fire. Okay, well, let's do it. And that's gonna take down the next turret. Yeah. And the next volley is gonna finish him off. And there it goes. There's the rockets on the Axford. Very silly. What is going on? Why does this have... Oh, okay. I was to say, why does this have a Lyrebird on it? Why does this battleship have a Lyrebird? It doesn't. It was just launching a EO Wake SSJ missile. EO Wake. Is to try to get it to sniff trails. Well, yeah, one Grazer will handle one missile. Check. Confirmed. Comey is starting to try and again assert control over the Bravo point. OSP still down by 100 points. These Voxels are going to be able to tear up everything. Oh my goodness. They've taken no damage at all? Hold on. Okay, a little bit of damage on the antenna. A little bit of damage on a radar panel. A little bit of damage on an ammo elevator. That's it. Everything else is thruster damage from flying around on permaflank. Wow. That's pretty good. Voxel Gaming. Don't see it that much anymore, but it's nice to see it. The Voxels can just descend here and fight the Obelisk and the two Ocellos. Battleship, I still don't know what this thing's trying to get done. And bringing in Overlord instead of railguns just seems like a bad idea. Because the Overlord wants to do what railguns want to do, which is shoot everything on the map. The railguns are just better at it. Overlord does more damage because it's 450 instead of rails. But the railguns have more range and so can more reliably hit everything.
The enemy is securing zone common.
I don't know how I feel about it. Uh-oh. That's not good. The damage do be adding up. Man, those rail fires are everywhere. Plasmas also and the 100 are also setting more fires on everything, crits on everything. Banished to the rock. Okay, I don't know why we keep trying to cap with shuttles in Voxel while Voxels are nearby. That's a good point. Needed a lot of damage. Seems like in general, like a really bad idea to try to cap when Voxels are nearby. John Henry's still alive. Yeah, look at it. Look at it go. Not really going to be shooting anything anytime soon, at least not with any sort of threatening volume of firepower. But it is still alive. Overlord and the Voxels managing to really hold it on. Missiles on the sprinter. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Okay, that was pretty huge. Because that's going to open up Bravo to this multi-mission tug unless it gets torpedoed and dies! Up! It didn't die. It's down to an arc steering and a 0% R drive. We'll be able to get to the point eventually, but it's going to be a little while. So Huber's going to be able to capture the Alpha point. He's done the battleship off the point. Venus Star is still looking, but it can't. Oh, what is that angle? Look at that. Look at that. Wow, that's wild. Freaking sniper corner. Unreal. What's I don't want to see this destroyer die to... What is this? Oh, an entire obelisk. That's pretty bad, yeah. Wow, 2 railguns shot out. I wonder what got those. First we gotta see what happens with this cap. Ooh. Gets his drive down while he's turning down to face the obelisk, so not going to be able to hit the shuttle on Alpha or the obelisk down below. That's going to open that up to OSP. I'm going to go to the Voxel girl, and... Okay, this thing's just been hit by a bunch of bullets. A little bit of 450 here in the center. A lot of 250 all across the sides. 450. Right on the other side. Nothing. I'll just port. And these extremely expensive S3Hs going directly into a wall. Yes. There's another one. Are you drag firing those? Gonna be now eating double obelisks in the face. This is actually a pretty good picture. That's cool. I like that. That's something that certainly never changes about Nebulous. No matter what's going on in the patch notes, the game remains absolutely beautiful. Alpha gets capped by OSP. I think they're getting shape on a Bravo too. They got 2 MMTs headed over here. They got 1 destroyer. The Hamel! Trying to defend, and the Black Cat, which currently does not have an engine, though that is being repaired yet. IE's going after that alpha point. Testulous OSP's already got it. But they don't have anything down here to really zone out, I think. Yeah, well, there are the obelisks here. Should not. There's nothing to sneeze at. They're busy with the battleship. Which they're never gonna kill. Not at that angle. Not at that range. Even with the plasma. Battleship can just leave, actually. It'll be fine. Oh, unless it gets rocketed! No flak, no auroras, bunch of defenders. And this has already been softened up by plasma, so normally rockets don't do that much when they land. Yeah, these are actually not doing that much. I was gonna say the plasma is gonna help those land and do a lot more damage. I mean, they did a bunch of damage to the drives, which is a very important section of the battleship to deal damage to. To be certain. Missile launcher on the back's now out. It's just gonna be about taking war. Yeah, what kind of crit is this drive crit? Is this fueling fire? Hello. There we go. Reactor overload. Destroyer, dead on Bravo. Was greeting people genially. Ah, I see. Death of an Axford. John Henry. Oh, womp womp. Very sad. Paralord moving in closer to the obelisks, which is a really bad idea.
The enemy is securing
I
zone
think he's trying to
Voxel.
get to the alpha point and try to cap it, but yeah, fighting at range you can survive. Fighting close in, you're just gonna die. Man, this thing's been dodging so much plasma. It's been getting plasma for a long, long time, and even at the long range, there's very little armor pulled off of it. Wild. Think we're getting close to it being over. Because OSP's up 4-1. ANS is just running out of steam.
The enemy
At
is
the
securing
battleship,
zone Voxel.
they got the Voxels. These obelisks? Obeli? Oh, belly. Are really laying the hurt down. There's not really anything that can engage that directly. Okay, ANS recognize it, they recognize it. That is an interesting request from Dranis. That'd be pretty cool. I think just in general more information on the AR would be cool, but like at some point you gotta I think you even track that. I don't know. Damn, those voxels doing a ridiculous amount of damage.
Yeah,
Enjoy the
those
motion, yeah.
are impressive.
A lot of flying around, a lot of shooting people. Yeah, hell yeah.
Debriefs are perfectly fine. It's what the menu's called, even. Hi.
That was an awesome game. GG, everybody.
Jeez. Out of 21k of damage of the voxel, 17k of it is RPF.
I got 12k damage on my shitty cruise brick. I am so happy.
I railed. I shot at things with T20s. It worked.
I feel like rails are still just kind of meh. Like they do good damage. They occupy repair teams, but like or damage control teams, but they're still kind of.
If there were 2 rails on that battleship, it'd be a little different. I think it takes 2 rail solos to really like put the herd on a Solomon, but like then you're kind of sitting there the entire game having to rail it, just keeping the entire thing on fire. Because if you keep a whole Solomon on fire, there's just not enough DC teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine the fire suppression system would help in that case, but like I think taking
Did I
out the rail
actually
solos
have
isn't
one
good.
on here? I may not have had one on here.
I want to watch this game back because I was absorbed in playing.
Good news, you can in 6 to 8 weeks.
Watch a VOD tomorrow.
Yeah, but that's the nice thing. That's part of the reason why I'm doing this. Is you have 1 week only, because Twitch is babies, to watch the VOD, and then we're gonna download it and get it cut up and upload it.
Anyone looking at the sorry.
Just wait.
I press the download button, and then you do everything else. Oh, that's teamwork.
Was anyone looking at the BB when I was hitting it? Because I'm just looking at my HEHC numbers and they are extremely low.
Yeah, you hadn't plasmid it enough to get anything through the armor. Really, it was bow on and at long-ish range. So most of your
Still the
plasma
drive.
missed, and what did land didn't cut off much. It wound up at the end of the game with a good chunk of its port armor burned off, but basically none of its starboard, and the port armor wasn't like reliably burnt off. And I think a lot of that came from the rocket strike, because when the rockets came in, even though you'd been plasming it for a while, most of the rockets, I guess, bounced. I don't know what the correct term is. They landed and they burned off armor, but they didn't do any damage to the ship underneath.
Yeah,
I think-
it took out the rockets took out some of the main engines, but and also I guess they crit the or was that from that
It was.
attack? I forgot. Okay.
I mean, that's just
Yeah,
another
they crit
plasma needs
the
more range.
reactor.
Because that BB was in range, or like 8 kilometers away from me for a long time. I just couldn't touch it till it got closer.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you about plasma being a little anemic.
Just plasma's not very good for bulkers. Because I can't really push you, because I'll die if I push you.
Plasma bad at fighting battleships more to 11.
Yeah, because yeah, if you had pushed me, you would have died.
You would have killed me before I killed you, and then those Voxels could have come and killed me as well.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, aorta.
So this is
Wait.
the center of the paradigm between the battleship versus the monitor. Is that the battleship's pretty strong against everything OSP has to offer, and the only thing OSP can realistically fight it with is the monitor. So, and battleships are really good against the monitor. So you wind up in this situation where you just have two walls kind of W and left mousing at each other,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the public games.
Well, it's a battle to get people to play models in pubs,
Yep.
I find.
Benji, get in the MN.
Something that was kind of funny, I was thinking about the entire game when Dark said at the beginning. Dark was looking at that Overlord BB, and I was like, why would you use an Overlord BB when you could just use rails? I was just thinking about, like, what a fire rate buff does to someone to immediately go, it's 450s when rails exist.
Well, no. Specifically the Overlord build. because it's really risky. You can get run down by the rocket shuttles and just murdered, and there's 3,000 points gone. You can get
Yeah.
railed into smitheroonies by double rail Ocello, but that wasn't on the map either. Or you can just get hell pushed by monitors. A Pinnabrick can easily push the Overlord and just kill it. It's very risky in the current state of the meta. It's an entirely fine build, but I think rails would have been safer because they do the same job, but from further away, a more safer position.